The PS2, a console that brings emotions of fun, wonder, excitement, and a lot of nostalgia. The PS2 is still the most sold console of all time, and during its life cycle there were a lot of game releases, cited at just over 4,000 original games, and I think during my time with the console, I maybe played a couple hundred. So I am making it my mission to play every single game, from the wacky and unknown to the all-time greats. Welcome to episode 2 of Console Complete. Last time on Console Complete.
Super slick, chickie, out of the way.
And this time.
You want some? You want some?
Today we're looking at a game suggested by one of you called Blood Will Tell. And off the bat I am just going to say I really enjoyed this game. This is a game from 2004. And 2004 was a decent year for gaming, I think, with the release of GTA San Andreas, as well as Need for Speed Underground 2, Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, and Star Wars Battlefront. Yeah, it was pretty good. So I had no idea what this game was until Little Fryhouse told me that I should play this game that was unique and fun. In this game you play as Hyakkimaru, a man who has absolutely none of his own body. Eyes? Nope. Limbs? Nah. What he does have though? SWAT ups, baby! Woo! Oh, and also cannon leg! Cannon leg! So after a quick tutorial on how to chop dudes up, we get our first little fight against those
Damn demons.
and quickly put them to rest before coming across our first real fiend. That was cool.
I finally found one. These fiends live off the sorrow and despair of humans. I'm here to take back my body.
That's right. See, before Hyuki was born, his dad made a pact with 48 demons that in exchange for each of them receiving one of his unborn son's body parts, he would be able to rule everyone, and no one would be able to stand against him. So he decides to kill every fiend to get his human body back. Starting with this here. I lost way too much health. Oh.
What's happening? My voice. It's my own voice. I got my voice back.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. One body part out of 48.
The world was ravaged by unending war. The people cried to the heavens, their hearts full of despair. Unbeknownst to them, the world was at the mercy of a group of vile demons known as fiends. One day, a terrible omen appeared in the sky. When morning came, not one, but two suns rose in the east. However, while one sun shined more brightly than ever, the other gave off a dull, black light, as if it were but a shadow of the real sun. It seemed as though the gods of the heavens could no longer bear to witness the troubled times on earth, and parted ways with the gods of darkness. The gods of darkness, the fiends, looked upon this omen with fear. To them, the appearance of two suns foretold the birth of a human that would have the power to end their dark rule. However, the fiends could not destroy this child of light themselves. They discovered, however, they could corrupt the child's birth parents.
Seems like there might be a bit more to Hyuki after all. We move on to find more villagers being killed by demons. Just before they're all killed, we meet a young boy who is apparently
The world-famous thief, Dororo.
and he's decided to follow me for now because he wants to steal my sword arms? Yeah. We hack our way through some baddies before this ugly homunculus dude tries to steal Lil D. We gotta lay the slash down. The fight itself wasn't actually that great, or that much to talk about, but we got it done. This was genuinely so cool to me though. We've been playing in black and white during the prologue, and now that we're getting our human eyes back, color. If the game keeps on progressing like this, I think this is a really interesting way to add new mechanics to the combat and the game in general.
Baby, I was found floating in the river in a barrel.
Prologue was just getting my voice and my eye back. Now, it's for reals. Sleeping on a riverside, we hear the sound of a bell ringing as we see some weird spirit coming towards us. And we get to have my favorite line so far.
You want some? You want some?
Oh, you want some or what? If you want some, I'll give it you.
I'll give it ya. And this won't be the last of it, I'll tell you that. So we start heading towards a nearby village to see if we can find where this spirit went to. Along the way, Dororo points out a secret path that gets me a new sword to kill with. And I got a sword! The flashing blade. On occasion, will cause a bright flash of light, killing enemies in a single hit. Yes, please. And we find ourselves just outside the village. Hey, if you made it this far, what about leaving a like on the video? That'd be pretty cool. I'm just a small little guy on a tiny channel. Makes every bit of difference. And if you really feel like it, how about subscribing? I would love to be able to hit 100 subscribers. So, thanks for watching. Back to the video.
But seriously.
Once in the village, a group hear Hyuki and D talking about the spirit that was ringing the bell. They immediately take us captive and bring us to a woman named Mistress Yudai, claiming to her that we had seen the troll. We meet Yudai and immediately, yep, she's evil. That is not what a non-evil person looks like. That's a bad guy. Bad guy alert. That's a bad guy. Both being handcuffed, she questions us asking what the troll had said to us when we saw it. And Hyuki puts on some serious sass, giving her absolutely nothing. This gets us sent to the well room. I guess it turns out, after we see the monster in here, this is actually the unwell room. We start fighting a giant frog lizard with tentacles, and this thing is actually pretty annoying to fight. It's big and fat, and if it touches you, then you get flung away taking damage. Luckily, after some shots with my body parts, we made good work of it, and the giant ballsack ran away. In a truly certified dumb kid moment, Dororo sees the demon dive down a well and immediately thinks, actually, I think I'm going to do that too, and launches himself after it. With that, we get our proper section playing as Dororo. This section is a small platforming section, which is a nice change of pace, and you're dodging spikes and weaving through projectiles and hopping across platforms like we're in a Mr. Beast Last to Fall wins 100,000. Dororo gets back into Yudai's mansion and immediately gets captured by the villagers, so nice. Meanwhile, Shakimaru is off in a bamboo thicket trying to track down the mysterious spirit. He shows himself and we realize we do want some.
You want some? You want some? You want some? You want some?
Eventually, we arrive at the glowing mound of dirt, clearly important, clearly hiding something juicy, but before we can investigate, we hear Dororo yelling in the distance. So we drop everything and sprint off, cutting through waves of the usual demon crowd to make sure we get there in time. We find Dororo tied up to a tree, surrounded by villagers, and we free him. and then try and piece together what's actually happening with Udai. According to the villagers, Udai is basically their savior, protecting them from some mysterious demon that keeps stealing all their money. And apparently she's the one keeping the village safe because she's super rich. You sure about that? So we take the villagers back to the glowing mound of dirt that the spirit showed us earlier and try to let them work it out themselves. We dig up the mound and surprise, surprise, there is an absurd amount of stolen money just sitting in there. At this point, I thought we basically solved the mystery, but before anyone can process it, we get jumped by a new demon. Now this boss fight, I'm not going to lie, this is probably the easiest boss fight I've ever done in my life. We just walk up, get around the back and do a stabby stab and just repeat. Little bitch. We do get a new body part out of it though, the esophagus, and as non-exciting as that sounds, it does nothing. Back at the mansion, Udai hears from two villagers that the missing money has been found and she looks pissed. Cut back to Hyaki and we're going over with the villagers on if the money had all been returned and they let us know.
Yeah.
Then the monster will probably appear again and attack the village.
I don't believe that guy. I don't believe that guy at all. I have a feeling that he might not be talking the truth. We also try and really put it forward to them again that Udai is a fraud. She's a demon. They just don't understand. This is the dumbest village I've ever seen, and honestly, they deserve to be robbed for the rest of eternity here. But, again, we try and convince them, and they're not having it. So, we send Dororo off again to infiltrate Udai's place one more time, and this time actually find solid proof that Udai is the one stealing all their money. And what do you know? Stashes of stolen money! Oh, plus, we find a sick arrow weapon that we steal. Cutting back to Hyaki, we are faced once more with the nutsack monster that we saw earlier, and it is now revealed to be called the Scourge. The boss fight though? This is actually where the game takes a turn on the boss. The Scourge fight is actually cool. It's big, it feels like there's proper mechanics, there's attacks you actually have to respect, you have to remember the charge up patterns, and you have to dodge correctly. I enjoyed this fight. It gave me my first death. Second time round, we paid attention, locked in, and again we took care of business. Udai's docked into its dick tail foreskin thing. Bad guy alert, official bad guy alert, told you, massive detective work by us, no one saw this coming, shocking twist. And seeing Udai disgustingly squirm away, still tucked in the Scourge's foreskin and running away, ugh. But, this brings us to Udai's true final form, the Ogress. This fight seemed like it was going to be cool, but we pretty quickly worked out how to cheese it and she was dead. In return for her, we get a new body part. The leg, which enables us to dash. And after taking care of the Ogress, Dororo asks for help from the villagers to help Hyaki take a rest as he needs it. This is where Blood Will Tell sneaks in a pretty grounded idea. We did everything right. We saved the village, we exposed Udai, we gave their money back, and got nothing for it. No thanks, no reward, not even acknowledgement. I guess that's kind of the point. Hyaki isn't a hero in the traditional sense, and he's not doing it for praise, he's doing it to get his body back. The good he does along the way is almost accidental. So when the villagers don't care, it kind of fits. Being the hero here isn't glamorous. Sometimes you fix everything and people still don't appreciate it. They don't even realize what you did. They're just hurt. It's messy and a little bit unfair, and it's more realistic than I expected from this game. At this point, I kind of realized that this story felt more than just a basic video game from the time. And I actually took a second to research the game itself. And I found out that this game is based off a manga from a long time ago. And the manga was written by the same guy who wrote Astro Boy. So it was starting to make sense why this kind of felt good story-wise. Like I was interested. This wasn't just some bizarro tale. Even though it kind of was. So now we find ourselves in chapter 2. And we see ourselves in the desert. And as we're walking along, we come across a group of dead animals laying across the floor, all covered in sword wounds. We go to investigate and realize that they come back to life. We don't have a choice but to protect ourselves. Being able to make it through, we come across another group of bodies, all with the same wounds. And again, they return to life. So we take them down again. Eventually, we come across what seems to be the source of this. A lone samurai, just sitting there, covered in scars, with hollow eyes. He tells us we showed up at the wrong time and that his sword is craving blood. The sword starts glowing, and yeah, we're fighting. Now, this fight's a little bit different, because the game labels it specifically as a non-lethal battle, which fits Hyakimaru's current morals. He's not trying to kill another human if he can help it. So, we're told that he's going to use the blunt side of his sword just to subdue the man. Does that look like the blunt of his sword to you? I don't know. Watching this fight has me think that maybe that's not the case. Once we get to the end of this fight, the guy just up and runs away. And that's when Dodoro does his standard Dodoro business and decides that he's seen a possessed sword that literally has a demon in it and says, I need to have this, and just sprints after the man like some wanderlust puppy. Even though we literally just saw that the sword has a demon in it and it was possessed very clearly and it was possessing the guy also very clearly. Either way, Dororo follows the nameless samurai to a village and slowly follows him while punching him in the back and then running away in hopes that he'll get the sword from him. After doing it a bunch of times, it actually just works. Kind of makes me wonder how this guy happened to have killed anybody if all it took was just this little brain dead kid to just poke him in the back. But cool, Dodoro's got the sword and is immediately possessed. Catching up to him, we see that Lil D is legit about to kill Bill some lady, and just before he does, we interfere. This puts us into our second non-lethal battle, back to back. Surprisingly, Dodoro is a strong little motherfucker, and I lose to him in the first battle. Barely, I only had half health at the start, so restarting at full health, it wasn't really that bad. I particularly like the move where Dodoro just screams at us and hurts us. Saving D from possession immediately sees the masterless samurai reunited with the demon sword, so I guess I know where this one's going. We now speak with the woman Dodoro almost just deleted, Misaki, and explain what's going on. Demon sword, cursed samurai, the lot. She lets us know that her brother, a swordsman who's been away for a long time, is coming home, and she has to leave. She also mentions that his name is Tanosuke. Wow, what a coinky-dink that is. I wonder who could be her brother. Heading forward, we're faced with our next fight. It's a giant hell head wheel on fire with demon spikes thing. This fight was kind of awkward. It never felt like there was a clean opening to attack, and every time we did attack, we would just get hit. After we get the hit in, the wheel would do this weird off-center spin, and again, didn't feel like it had an opening for attack during it, so we just went blow to blow until I won. A cool looking enemy though. Eventually we win, and for our troubles we get kidneys. Let's fucking go! 5 out of 48 parts. Reaching the huts in the village, we make it to Misaki's house, and we overhear her brother's return. As suspected, Tanosuke is revealed to be the nameless samurai, and we find out that he did indeed go off to work as Misaki thought, but during so, he was gifted a sword by the Emperor, and used it to kill a few hundred people that he was working with under orders of the Emperor. After doing this, the sword began speaking to him, saying that it craved blood, and it wouldn't stop telling him. Tanosuke couldn't deny the sword what it wanted, but it always looked for more to kill. For a second here, it seems like Tanosuke is ashamed of what he's become, but in that moment, the sword, named Dragon Brood, again calls to him for more blood. And as we've seen, he can't deny the sword's calling and unsheathes, ready to kill Misaki, his sister. Dororo steps in just in the nick of time to save her, and Tanosuke runs away. We begin the chase. We catch up to Tanosuke, and he seems cornered and has no chance but to fight. Misaki pleads with us to not fight him, and to not kill him. But Hyaki sees that the real Tanosuke has been lost to the sword, and if we don't act and we don't kill him, the sword will kill us, and will kill many after us.
You had a human heart.
At some point, perhaps. But
dragon brood just keeps telling me it needs more blood. And when I satisfy it, I am overcome with such euphoria and pleasure.
Tenosuke's mind is completely lost. There's no going back.
So against what we previously thought in our fight with Tenosuke, we enter a duel to the death. The moves in this part of the game really gave me like an Elden Ring vibe with everything. The arena, the attacks from Tenosuke with these sword effects and beams of power. I'm really enjoying seeing each enemy have new and improved and in special attacks as we go further. So after some quick hits in from us, Tenosuke pulls us further into a new area, beginning phase 2. Our movement slowed in this area on the ground, and attacks are now heavier. Taking advantage of the slower building attacks, we jump over Tenosuke, we get some backstabs in every now and again, and that makes this fight pretty simple. Tenosuke, with his back against the wall again, runs deeper into the canyon, egging us on to defeat him. Phase 3 gives him a few more tools, including a teleport that he can move across the arena with, and a nasty slash that you have to time. Once you figure out the rhythm, it's more of a patience game than a panic, and you just find the timing to pull out one of the moves, stab him in the back, and continue on. Now looking like Tenosuke's on his last legs, we enter the final phase, where we see all of the previous attacks, but now we have these shadow balls that can be thrown towards us and we need to avoid them, as well as a really good ground pound. This fight works pretty much that if you can bait out one of the large forward slash attacks and then the ground pound movement, we can just get around the back of him pretty easily and just slash his back. It felt kind of difficult at first, but as soon as you got the rhythm down, it was sort of pretty easy. Although we only got through this fight by the skin of our teeth, and we're able to muster just enough to disarm Tenosuke. But, just like a Jedi sword trick, Dragon Brood has returned to Tenosuke's hand.
Misaki! Watch out!
This is my sword. You will have to pry it from my cold fingers if you want
At
it.
this point, Tenosuke seems to understand the end is here. In this dire moment, the sword again calls for blood, and Tenosuke, realizing he can't defeat Hyakimaru, gives the sword exactly what it wants. Blood.
But I cannot give you his. You shall have mine.
No!
Drink. Drink. This is your last feast.
With that, the sword demon is defeated. And Tenosuke is dead. Now that Dragon Brood has been defeated, Hyakimaru, of course, receives body part number 6. The spine. The fight's over. And Misaki screams at us that we murdered her brother and we were supposed to help. Like with the villagers, Dororo tries to reason with the enraged and saddened Misaki. The Hyaki was only trying to help, and if he didn't, then the sword would have killed all that were in its way while trying to quench its own thirst for blood. But she didn't care. We killed her brother, and that's all we're left with.
You're all evil! How could you do this to my brother? Murderer! I don't ever want to see you again. Get out of here!
This time, Hyakimaru doesn't argue. No dramatic speech, no lectures about demons. Just an apology. A quiet acknowledgement of the pain that he caused. And so we leave. Time for chapter 4. Now remember just before when I mentioned about this being based off a manga from the 1960s? Well, what's something that we know about manga and anime? No, God no. You can't avoid filler.
Oh, okay.
That's how chapter 4 felt to me. The story of the area was weak and the fights kind of did my head in. So let's cut this one down, and here's the best bits to me from this chapter.
Silence! This matter does not concern you!
We can't leave this place. We all lost our parents in wars. This is the only home we
This
have.
is just Orphan Village.
How come he's the only one who's fat around here? But his belly is huge!
Wait, what? A sword blessed by Hyakimaru's own mother. Tear-like droplets run down the blade and heal the wielder's wounds. What? What is that doing here?
Inside that cave.
Never knew you had such a pretty voice, though.
Yucky just wants the roast beef sandwich.
I'd always wondered.
You, piggy!
You'll have to go through me to get by.
I can't eat anymore. I still hunger. You must eat it all.
Please show the children a world without war, without suffering.
It's Rock Jesus! Oh, we got a sense of pain. See?
Do not worry, my son. These lands would mean nothing if I were to lose you, too. But what happened to that boy?
This fucking
After he was attacked by
asshole
the
is
demon, there
still
was a
better than
tremendous
my
earthquake.
dad. That
I don't believe he
sucks
could
for
have
me.
survived.
Very well.
Yucky, sad life.
Let us be off.
What did he mean, lose you too?
Wait, is that my dad? Oh my god, that is my dad. I'm so fucking dumb. Oh my god. Yep, that's right. After all of that, my dumbass couldn't remember what Yucky's dad's name was from the start of the game, and it flew completely over my head until the end. So, maybe this wasn't filler after all? So this is where I put the game down. And honestly, I've pretty much enjoyed the whole time playing this game. And now it did get a little bit old towards the end there, and I feel like it may be a game that starts really strong and then sort of goes down in quality and gets a bit more repetitive over time. We saw a lot of the same mobs and people you had to kill sort of over, and some of the bosses repeat themselves in the games if you find secret ones. But overall, I still think this game had cool mechanics and great ideas that I'd never seen before. Let me know if you want me to finish playing this game at some stage, or if I'm wrong and it actually gets way better from here. But I think this game has the perfect amount of like those classic PS2 voice lines that are a little bit off, but really cool, as well as like not being super janky in the gameplay and fighting mechanics. You know, the bosses were different enough between each of them and it kept it fresh and you didn't just do the same thing over and over, and the boss designs were still pretty cool. I'm surprised I never heard of this game because it feels like it should have been a bit more popular, but this is the fun of you guys suggesting games, and what is exciting me about playing through the PS2 collection. We get to have fun and experience games that some of you loved and some of you have never seen before, same as me. So let us know if there's any games you loved from your past, or maybe you're playing through right now, and let's play them through together. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys next episode for Console Complete. Bye.
You want some?